How the Gita distinguish between vairagya as a conscious, active engagement with life on one side, and indifference, I believe the term is udasina, as a passive, detached, withdrawal, unconcerned state as the other. If I do my duty, but I don't care if the result goes one way or the other, is that vairagya? Thank you.
I really love this question. You have picked really good words of vairagya and udasina. The word udasina is translated as someone practically who doesn't care. Almost feels like a depressed guy. Let's read in the Bhagavad-Gītā. Udasina vadasino gunairyo na vichalyate. Later, a verse comes where a yogi is situated as if udasina, because I'm not translating udasina yet. As if udasina what? And what does he do? Gunairyo na vichalyate, who is not moved by, propelled by the gunas, controlled basically. So at least in this application of the verse, this udasina is not bad actually. He doesn't seem to be a guy who is like, I don't care. I mean, it's okay if it happens. This is like a modern awakening of spirituality, where we are repeatedly reminded that a person has to be completely detached from whatever is there to happen. I should just plant a tree and, start a garden. And if the garden doesn't grow, why should I care? Because I should not be too attached to any expectation for an effect of the cause is understood, interpreted as, look, you are attached to the result of your action. I think that we need to make if we want to read the text in a positive light, we can always have an effort made to not really understand the text or try to make it as weird as it gets. But if we want to read in a good faith, so what would the text possibly trying to teach us, particularly if we think that Bhagavad-Gītā is trying to not make us passive, but a positive guy with a positive attitude? Let's read the word udasina one more time. Ud is a prefix in Sanskrit that comes like coming up on top of it, like utpluti, meaning to jump up. Udgamaraja. So wood itself has like some type of coming on top. And asina, seated. What is he seated on top of? Seated on top of guna. So if I am situating my agency on top of guna, meaning I am not letting my tamas to ruin the fun of my action. That's all the udasina. I mean, like even rajas and others. That's all I'm understanding as udasina. And if we see, particularly in modern use of the word, that is what ruins the whole game. Because in all the contemporary use of Udasina, because the Sanskrit word has been used in Hindi, in Nepali, all the vernacular languages, and then in every case, I agree with you that the word is, it's like very pessimistic. But I am really like, when I try to read Bhagavad-Gītā, because these people were very close to the word as it is, and the meaning had not fallen so far from its etymological, like original sense. And so I would say that in this sense, both Udasina and Vairagya are not different, particularly if we read in light of Udasina Vadasino Gunairyo na Vichalyate. So this is the same or a synonymous term. Like there are some yogis who come with the title, the last name, I mean, as Udasin, Udasinācārya. So if the meaning of the word is simply frustrated guys with a lot of pessimism and frustration, then I do not think that is what they meant when they are starting the whole order of sannyasins as udasin. So this must have been used in a positive sense of detached. But the detached word is also very problematic. I can, I can work in my garden. I still love the garden thing. There's a cause and effect thing happening there very clearly. And then, is it so bad for me to expect the plants to grow and have some crops? So, you expected the result and you are so attached to the result. I think this is a psychological state, very difficult for us to analyze what is the degree of obsession and love and passion. So I would love to understand, act on a plain and simple logic of cause and effect. But I do not need to be obsessed to the level that the required anticipated effect doesn't come, and then I go and start throwing my tools and dismantling my garden. So there's just a lot of negative reaction that can come when we do not get the anticipated result. And I would consider that a psychosis. And then that I would find very negative. And some people might extend the meaning of Vairagya or Udasina to that level of having no concern for what goes on. I would say have a total concern, but not the obsession that you are so clinging to the result that if the required result doesn't come, and then you start doing nonsensical things like if somebody calls you and then you don't like what is being said and you throw the phone, so like that is because many of the times there is our reaction to the situation has nothing to do with causal relation. And therefore, if we are reacting in a negative way, then that would be obsession to me. And then I would say Bhagavad-Gītā is trying to save us from that type of obsession and attachment. But I would not say that Bhagavad-Gītā is asking Arjuna to come and just keep throwing wherever the arrows go. And doesn't matter because shooting arrow and somebody dying has no relation at all. Because that really does make sense to me. Because why would Arjuna need to shoot his arrows if there is no causal relation between his arrows and the person being dead? So why should Arjuna bother throwing? throwing an arrow. If there's absolutely, but that doesn't mean that, okay, I shot the arrow and the guy is still standing. I'm going to throw my Gandhi, useless bow. So then that would be obsession. And actually, yes, the Bhagavad-Gītā wants that you do not go to that level of obsession. I would just only read the text to the level that it makes sense. And any terms, we can take it to the extreme and go to Vairagya, also understand in the extreme sense, so let's not go to that. Thank you so much. I love the question.